nice and green, the air conditioner's cool, and hear the sound of happy children playing in the pool. It's 92 degrees outside, but don't you get me wrong, 'cause even though it's summertime, this is still a Christmas song. Shopping in the snow, I'll be kicking it off in June. I'm making up a list down by the boardwalk and stopping at the outlets on the way. I'm not gonna be an idiot this Christmas time. I'll have my shopping done by Labor Day. Okay, I bought no one gifts this summer. Shopping in the heat is hard to do. Besides, who can think of Santa when you're still chugging my Lanta? 'Cause you ate too many chili dogs at Uncle Henry's barbecue. I still have lots of time to look for bargains. I'll buy the finest gifts you've ever seen. December's almost gone, the time just disappeared, and it's too late for Amazon to get a package here. So I'm scraping off the windshield, wrap a scarf around my ears. 'Cause it turns out I'm an idiot this Christmas. Shopping after all. It turns out I'm an idiot this Christmas time. I'm spending Christmas Eve at Christiana Mall. It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Ooh, doggy!
And we lied to everyone, and we're live again.
We're big fat liars because we like to surprise people, bring joy during the holiday season.
And we don't like to edit, and this is a way around it.
Kevin has family to tend to during the holidays and doesn't have time to edit this bull crap. Kevin Regan is our host.
And Kristin Finger is our host.
We're co-hosts of the show Remark, so thank you so much for tuning in. We like to refer to our fans as #Remarkers. Please keep that spreading around the world. We really want it to pick up. Just some traction would be nice.
I want to thank right at the top of the show. I want to thank Hot Breakfast for that awesome theme song, and also for letting me steal that song, that Christmas song, to open the show without ever asking them. And I'm pretty sure they're in the audience. So thanks, guys.
They're like, what the?
They're like, that son of
Son of a
they're so
gun.
nice. They're very nice people. You should be friends with them. They're amazing. So
Kevin, I don't want to brag, but we watched 40 movies.
I know. Is that something to brag about?
Yeah.
How about this? We watched 40 movies, and both of us are still married.
Not to each other.
No way. Definitely could not stomach
We
that.
were never married to each other.
I don't think I need to talk to you again until at least February. I love you, Chris, but February.
Same. So, Kev, we got to watch a doggy. It was but we can hear you, Don. Don, we can hear you.
Yeah, and that's a good
Sorry
point.
about that, folks.
That's
That's a good point.
Don Montrey in the background. The reason this looks the way it looks, and
Yeah.
it's all beautiful and stuff, that is 100% Don doing that. So many thanks to Don Montrey for doing this.
It's gorgeous, Don. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, Don, be quiet. I'm trying to do a show.
So we got to watch Cross Country Christmas. Every single time I read the title Cross Country, I assumed this was about a track team who started a relay race and ended on Christmas Day. It was not that at all, Kevin.
No, I thought it was CrossFit, and that like they were just going to be like eating a lot of meat and working out.
No.
That's what I think CrossFit is. I do not know.
Well, we didn't get to just be the only ding-dongs that watched this film. We asked two of our delightful friends, one all the way from the Twin Cities, Doug Neithercott, and of course from Boston, Courtney Pong. Hooray. Welcome,
Courtney,
friends.
Courtney's from everywhere. Courtney, you're from San Jose, you're from Boston, honorarily from Philly. Anytime you want.
Absolutely. I am stuck on the East Coast very firmly, but originally from the West Coast, San Francisco, San Jose, and now I live here and I'm cold all the time.
Yes.
And
Now, Doug.
I'm opposite because I'm originally from Philadelphia area and then moved out to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Wait a minute.
You're welcome back anytime too. I didn't mean to exclude you. You're definitely welcome back anytime as well.
Always.
If any
So-
of my homies in the White Marsh area are watching,
Wait, like Plymouth White Marsh? Or like, okay, PW?
what up?
My husband just went to that mall the other day.
Oh, the
Is that what we're doing now? We're just all going to small talk and hang out and
All right, fine. We'll talk about cross-country Christmas.
yeah. Cross country Christmas was the best.
So, but we like to ask our guests the age-old question of, have you ever watched a Hallmark movie before? Or, like, was this your first time? So I'll start with Courtney. Courtney, how about you?
Yeah, first time watching an actual Hallmark Christmas movie. I think 2 years ago, I started watching whatever Netflix and Hulu put out and was like, these are kind of the same, but they are not the same.
Oh, they're very different. Netflix has better writers. They have better writers.
Which
I
is
like Hallmark.
sometimes saying a lot. Like when,
Yeah.
like if you saw the Netflix one, you're like, ooh, that like a night before Christmas, you're like, and then you watch one of these, you're like, no, that was fine. I'll go back to that.
My God, everyone stop what you're doing, except like maybe stop after Remark what you're doing and watch
A live show, Kristin. They can't pause it.
The Night Before Christmas on Netflix. You're thinking, Kristin, is this spelled night, like nighttime? Nope.
Oh,
Doug, I'm going to turn to you. Have you ever watched a Hallmark movie before?
Honestly, no, I never have. I was never. I'm not big into greeting cards. Ergo, I'm not big into a greeting card network. And from what I know about Lifetime and Hallmark Christmas style movies, they are not good. So I never spent the time to watch one, let alone 40. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug, it changes you. I'm not gonna lie, it changes you.
You would assume that after watching that many feel-good movies, you would feel pretty great. I feel like a dumpster fire has hit my life, and I'm not quite sure how to dig myself out of it.
I'm angry all the time. I mean,
I found Kristin just keep digging down Because eventually
keep going down.
Keep going down.
Okay, very good. So of course, this was not about a track team. This was about two folks that needed to get home for, shocker, the holidays. And this stars Rachel Lee Cook of course, Doug, please let us know how you remember Rachel Lee Cook's fame from.
Rachel Lee Cook, she's actually a Minneapolis native, so she's big here in the Twin Cities. Her and Leah Thompson. Anyway, she's
also from
that,
Philly.
Drugs commercial. She's like, "This is your brain on drugs," and she like slams the egg down. Like that's her. But she went on to like fame in movies like She's All That and so on.
Cross Country.
Cross Country. She went right from She's All That to Cross Country Christmas.
Big gap.
Was the
other movies.
drug commercial her first one? Was that her very first thing? I thought she did that commercial after, like, they gave her some notoriety. They're like, now you can do one of our drug commercials.
No, she did the drug commercial first. Like, that's how she got the acting bug.
She probably moved out to LA and did drugs. Probably, allegedly. I'm just saying.
Kevin, she was 14. She was 14 when she moved to LA. So
Drew Barrymore had a drinking problem at 9, so I think that's...
Her and Josh Hartnett spent time together just doing drugs and on the set of Cracker. All right.
Well, this sadly wasn't starring Josh. Why can't I speak? Josh Hartnett.
Can I jump
This
in here
is
real
starring
quick?
Grayson Holt. Never heard of him.
No.
Apparently he's Canadian. Shocker. But these two have to travel home, and they realize that on the flight going home to Little Town America, that they know each other from high school, but they weren't in the same pack. Because I don't want to jump ahead, but later on he's like, yeah, we didn't really hang out in high school. She ran for vice president of the student council. Like, why would you? What does that mean for him?
Well, I took that as like he knew more about her than she knew about him. Like he was more popular than him. He was a farmer boy. You know, we know he slept during class all the time, but we just assume he's lazy, and then we find out, well, he's up at 4:30 in the morning milking cows. So
right. So I don't know if anyone noticed this, and I don't know if near each other secretly is what I wrote. Because there were 3 particular instances.
Hold on, Chris. Are you literally asking our guests if anyone noticed the most obvious thing? Like,
you're talking about when they dropped off their luggage at the curb and they made eye contact, and then they went into
and then looked away.
Like, oh, that's what you do when you have been avoiding somebody for many times, and then you finally come face to face with them and go, "I know you." That was rough.
In the restaurant too. They were back to back
in the restaurant, and then before that at the cab. When they're always on phones.
Yeah. Well, they're very important. They're very in touch with their jobs.
Yeah.
What else are we going
They're
to say?
New Yorkers. I mean,
Also, have either of you, Kevin's worldly, ever heard of a creative solutions specialist?
No.
Title.
Rachel Lee Cook was a creative solutions. I'm like, who created their own major in college?
Love it.
Cook did.
it's funny. I was so glad when she said it because I knew our panel, and I literally thought Courtney could be that. Courtney could be that. Absolutely.
When I was in San Francisco, right before I left, one of the last things I did is I remember I was at some bar right in Financial District, and I met this guy, and he goes, I work for, at the time, do you guys remember Hipstamatic?
Oh,
Yes.
Right when Instagram came out, Hipstamatic was up too. And he goes, I founded Hipstamatic. And I said, oh, and I said, he said, I co-founded. And I go, what's your title? And he goes, Director of Fun. And I went, I have to leave.
Yeah.
I have to leave this whole city. And so when she said creative solutions person, I went, well, that is a director of fun.
Yes.
Someone who didn't have like the smarts to get like a degree as a therapist or a psychoanalyst, but someone who was too smart to not think of something to do with their life, right? Like, good with people. I like to talk. Oh, I know.
Well, she had like a wide range of like, if you're having interpersonal relationships like with your partner, or if you're starting a new business.
one running theme, which was, I have a license to give unsolicited advice. That's all I saw. She's like, it is my job, so I must tell you before you ask.
Yes.
But she doesn't have to follow any HIPAA rules, so she can talk about it all day long.
That's right. That's right. But he started a farming app, talking about hipster app. So he was the president of Farm Fun.
I was really hoping it would be farmersonly.com.
I wish. Oh my God. So of course, the red herring, at least what I thought would be the red herring, but also still kind of is that the mix-up of the luggage.
Yeah.
The Chekhov's gun that was like,
Yeah.
I mean, they ultimately fired Chekhov's gun, but it did. It definitely was like, it hit a wall, went nowhere. It was like,
it was like a wet fart.
It was
so nothing.
To me it was like very much a cautionary tale of why you need to get a luggage tag for your bag. You want to make sure that it's noticeable. I always make fun of like the grandmas with like this scarf tied around their bag. No, tie a
That's
scarf
what you do.
around your
Scarf.
Yeah.
because all these bags look alike.
It's
So-
very true, and I do this to this day because my mom did it, therefore my mom did it, and now I do it. But we use wrapping ribbon, and like wherever we going, like if we're like, they used to go on Carnival cruises, they would make it like the Carnival cruise colors of the ribbon.
Yeah.
But then they could you find your bag immediately.
I think everyone listening should do that, and then sooner or later, Kristin will get the wrong bag because
I feel like as a creative solutions person, the most common thing at the airport is the black bag. You think she would have, the black hard case bag, you think she would have figured that out by now, or at least had something ready to go in her
like
little-
spray paint or stickers.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Creatively, I solutioned something. No, but no.
Well, yeah, but her creative solution may have been trying to lure this guy that she's had feelings for since high school, and she's been following him around. I'm just going to Kristin's idea that they're all stalkers. Everyone in these
All
movies is
stalkers in these movies.
A little bit. It just felt like with her title, it felt like as far as following the genre goes, that they just gave up on titles. They were like, usually they're an architect or a journalist. We're just gonna make you this namey name.
Yep. Let's just, you say a word, you say a word, you say a word. That's
Well-
like how we get suggestions at Comedy Sports, and that's how they wrote this woman's title.
Well, that's also how they wrote the script and character names, because you're following Max Cooper the whole time, but then there's this other guy named Greg Hooper. So you have Cooper and Hooper, and it was like, I kept getting confused on who was who.
He was
I
such a
figured
wiener.
that probably what had happened was, we know that the schedules for these shoots are so short that, like, so the scripts were already printed, like that someone had already gone to Kinko's, picked them up, and they're like, oh man, we have two characters named Cooper and Cooper. They're like, no, we don't have time. We don't have time to reprint this. We don't have time. 3 pages here, double-sided. We don't have time to reprint
You know what? But here's the thing, Doug, a creative solutionist would have said, here's what we do. Change Hooper to Hopper. Just get an intern who makes an O a P.
See, you might be a creative solutionist, but I'm a solution creationist, and so I have to go through
That's why you like Hallmark movies.
All
That-
your solutions were
checks out.
created in 2,000 years or less.
I also believe that her creative solutioning is just her putting them into danger. She befriended that woman who was dressed as an elf.
Who was a little bit like out of sorts because like go ahead, Chris. I don't want to. It's just that was like insanity.
Well, I also don't know, like, when she initially approached her, I wasn't sure if she did it out of kindness and then realized opportunity, or if she was like, this woman looks sad, I'm gonna take advantage of her emotional state of being.
Yeah, she was a crying elf, and then as Lena, right? It was Lena went up to her and said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "My boyfriend was supposed to meet me at the airport, but he didn't show up, so I think he's breaking up with me." And then we later find out, then she dumps him. No reason, because she's like, "I don't think he loves me." And what happens? There's like a whole other movie.
We missed that one, yeah.
My problem with this movie, a lot of it was, no one was wacky enough, right? Like, here's this poor girl. She's crying. She's at the airport. She clearly wanted her to be funny by saying, like not watching the road as she drives. Oh, look at, but she wasn't wacky enough. It just wasn't. I mean, you're in an elf costume in an airport.
Doug, I agree with you 100%. And we're not supposed to do this, but sometimes Chris and I can't help ourselves. We talked earlier today, and we cut ourselves off, but I did say I felt like Rachel Lee Cook was in a better movie than everybody else.
Yeah. She was trying so hard to make it what it maybe could have been.
Her physical comedy had some pieces along the way where I was like, it kind of came through, and I was like, that could have been fun if we followed that.
Right. Like throwing the trees in the pickup truck, that whole relationship with Joe, and then everything just kept falling flat.
I also to the fact, okay, just my notes ended up just being a list of the shenanigans that occurred.
Oh, that was the script. The script was a list of shenanigans. That's fun.
I do love that movie though, Shenanigans List. You guys check it out. It's
We're reviewing that one next week.
But please, Kristin, let's talk about what shenanigans there really were, right?
Right.
Okay, so they get in a car with the wacky elf, and the wacky elf says, I'm supposed to go to Chicago for Christmas. I'll drive you to Chicago. So
great.
This dude and this chick, they get in the car with the elf, and they're on their way. But Lena, Rachel Lee Adams Cook person, is like, no, you should make up with him. And so she decides to do it, right? Wackiness ensues. No, she just drops him off.
Just drops him off. There's no wackiness.
Yeah.
There's no weaving around the road. There's no,
No smoke came out of the vehicle, not at any one point.
Nope.
There was never a winter storm.
No.
We never saw any traces of this storm. And the entire time, and it wasn't even cross country. It was just like halfway across the country.
Yeah.
There wasn't there wasn't anything that showed like a dangerous winter storm. It was just like, we've been mildly inconvenienced, so we're going to take it the long way.
It rained a lot. There was a lot of rain. And
yes, I think
you could tell was real, that was happening during the shoot. And like Doug said, these movies were shot so quickly that they might be able to reschedule for a day, but if they get a storm that comes through for like 2 or 3 days, there's rain in that movie now.
It was nasty.
Honestly, they were traveling through like the more southern Midwest, like Nebraska and Kansas. So yeah, there could be rain at Christmas there. So I'll give them that. Way to go, Hallmark Channel.
Or just Mother Nature, really, because wherever they were filming, it was raining.
I feel, Chris, that what we missed a huge opportunity in all of Remark is to have Doug as our weather person every single episode. If we ever do it again, Doug, we're going to ask you to come back.
I can tell you this. I watch plenty of TV shows and movies that are filmed in the Vancouver area. And it's not a scene in Riverdale if it's not raining. Am I right?
Am I right?
It's true.
Yeah.
What more shenanigans do you have? Because I just have one big thing I want to talk about.
I mean, I could go through it, but hit me with yours, because I have
this gas station gazebo thing.
Yeah.
When he goes, wait for it. When he goes, the gas station guy told me about this spot, and it's just a spot off to the side. What the hell?
I thought he was gonna murder her.
Yeah, he was. So we had this moment. Where
no
sense of humor whatsoever.
Oh, Kev, look at you two.
He needed a knife.
Doug, take a picture with Kevin. Oh my God, selfie with Kevin.
It was just so odd. He was like, the guy told me about this spot. It's like, what? It's a walking distance from the parking lot.
Yeah.
Spot. And then playing with the stuff.
It was weird too, because like the moment before in the. She bought snacks. She bought something salty and something savory, and then she also bought nuts, which is salty and but whatever. And then he goes, I have to pay for the gas, which I thought was weird because like I thought that's what she was doing, but regardless. But yeah, when he's in that station, Courtney, he looks at something, he gets real wide-eyed, and I'm like, oh. And that's what he was buying. He bought this and must have been like said to the attendant, where can I get rid of a body?
Because the way he looked at what we didn't know what he was looking at, to me, I was like, he just found a mini chainsaw and he is going to take her out back, chop up her body so that the truck they're driving in will drive faster with one less person.
So speaking of trucks that could hold dead bodies, did we all notice how he just curls up in the back and is like, good night? As if he's going to stay warm, because he doesn't know she's going to drive. So he's,
right.
I'm just gonna curl up and go to sleep. I'm like you're not gonna freeze, like you're not gonna freeze to death in that truck. And
I don't want to get too far into this film because I think we've passed by some very important moments for me. So again, they get dropped off by the elf at the tree farm, or the buy a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Lena notices that there's free delivery if you buy a Christmas tree, so she thinks she's going to convince this small town guy to drive them somewhere. But they end up like helping this guy, which is nice, and they help him with his deliveries. Did anyone else get mad that all the trees that they were loading into the truck, not a single one was wrapped, or like they were all just like,
and they were chucking them, like throwing them, yeah.
That guy does not run a good tree business.
No, he does not. He does not. He was duped by a creative solution specialist, and it made me angry. And I don't even like Christmas trees.
Here's the thing, though. The one I was gonna say incontinence. That's not what I meant. What's the thing where it's not? Anyways,
in context.
The continuity issue?
Yes, something where it didn't string together. But meaning because a lot of my friends, because of ComedySportz, I know a lot of people in the Midwest, and they naturally interchange between like, oh, I'm in Chicago, or I'm in Indiana, I'm gonna drive over here. In the movie, he was like, what were they in Indiana? And he was like, could you drive me to Chicago? And the guy's like, that's in another state.
Yeah, he goes, that's a state away.
Yeah, you all drive everywhere.
Yeah, it's like this one big state that they call 3 different names. But also, can we not forget, oh boy, that cross-country train that they got on. How bleeping dumb do you need to
listen, I will say this. They got me on that only because I was angry that they're sitting in the train's restaurant eating garbage food. Yeah. And they hear the whistle and they run out, and I'm thinking, what train station restaurant doesn't let people know a train is leaving? Yeah. And then when you find out, oh, they just jumped onto a cargo train, a freight train, and it's the wrong train taking them to the wrong place, I was like, okay, Hallmark. Okay. I was okay with it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just was like, I
think the reason you were like that is because of the stupidity of the characters.
Oh, yeah.
You had to look past, like, as the character, they had to say, oh, the train must be early. Yeah. Oh, let's rush. Oh, let's not even look at the train we're getting on and notice that no one else is around, and then we're just going to be happy with it. And then once we realize it's not a passenger train, we're not going to turn around real quick and try to jump out at the station. We're just going to give up and say,
we're going to Nebraska.
We're now in this hay room.
Yeah.
It clearly isn't left over from a Hallmark mystery movie they filmed, but you know.
We'll find out about that. We'll find out.
The hay room.
Yeah. But had they not gone to Nebraska, we never would have seen the half human, half animal nativity in which Jesus was a schnauzer. And I'm okay with that.
Oh, by the way, my single drops this week on Spotify, Jesus is a schnauzer. Please check it out. Dog is just God spelled backwards. So take that.
Right?
Well, I think what made me so angry about the half human, half animal nativity scene was that they invited all these people. They had them sat down in this little room, or in the barn, and they did a 2-minute play.
Oh, it wasn't even 2 minutes. It was like 30 seconds.
I know.
Yeah,
they do that in a lot of these. Like they'll be like, all right, here's the big concert, and it's like they do one number, and everyone's like, oh my god.
Which is exactly what they end up doing as well when they go to Coop's cousin Daryl's. And we see that they're about to leave. Daryl's a mechanic, fixes up the Bill's grooming truck or whatever the truck was called. And what ends up happening is Daryl's wife says, Daryl's been working really hard on this concert that he's been putting together. And they're like, well, we'll stay. 12 people showed up. 12 people. And while I understand we've all done shows to a lot less than 12 people, Hallmark put some money behind it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was like, is this okay? So first of all, this is Max's cousin, right? His wife,
yes.
Who happened just to live in Kansas. They're not too far away. He's like, oh, he's been playing this Christmas Carol event. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like this fun, like in a church maybe or whatever. No, it's like at a sad VFW, and like There's like one child there, which I thought was weird. It was a bunch of adults and one child.
That was the bartender.
I wrote down Christmas Carol event or cult meeting. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Someone didn't get a babysitter for that one kid, and they were like, "Fine, bring her."
Bring her.
So, if you go to a Christmas Carol event and you're put on the spot to sing a Christmas song, not just by yourself, but as a duet with someone you really don't know that well, what do you pick? No, seriously, what would you guys pick? Because I immediately thought Deck the Halls. I call dibs on Deck the Halls.
I maybe would have gone Frosty.
I would have done Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Good one.
Yeah, I probably would have gone Jingle Bells. It's easy, right?
Yeah. But no.
What do you
According
talk
to
about?
Rachel Lee Cook, it's too easy. You're no schlub.
It is. You're no schlub. So, Doug, what did they sing?
Well, Kevin, Rachel Lee Cook picks We Three Kings. I challenge the viewers right now in the chat without Googling it. Type the lyrics to We Three Kings. You get the first three, We Three Kings, and after that you'll be like, I don't know.
No, I'll even give you Of Orient Are, I believe. That might not be right. That might not be right.
That's right. No, no one sings that song. It's the most depressing song. And I don't even think Michael Bublé has redone that song.
Oh, man.
And he's done them all.
I do want to give a shout out for that whole segment of the gorgeous house that his cousin lives in with this outdoor grill with this fire pit, which launched a long conversation between my partner and I about property value in the Midwest. Well, you just get more for your money. You just do.
I can tell you right now, that house in Kansas cost them $5,000. That's all they cost.
You know, so listen, and you guys have all lived some Midwesterny times or traveled enough. I was a little surprised because, like, on the East Coast, and I know it can get much, much colder in the Midwest, but we do barbecue. I'm a vegan, and I still do barbecue in the winter. And when she's like, or he was like, he said it, and he's a farmer, and he's like, barbecue in the winter. Like, don't you guys barbecue in the winter?
Right. I do. I mean, the grill's still out there.
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person. I don't go outside after.
Ever. We know it's cold, and
I
we'll
believe
see in June.
a hardy Midwesterner would be like, yeah, of course there's barbecue in the winter. Like, don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot.
Kevin, I'd like to jump forward to when she was shopping with her just new, apparently best friend who asks her about her love life and tells her what dresses to buy. Because in every Hallmark movie, there's either a sister or a best friend who is the one that's like, what's going on with you two? You should buy that dress in the window. So I was wondering how they would do this because she didn't know anyone. Well, don't worry about it. One night around a campfire, you are best friends forever.
Well, they all did dance. Don't forget, they danced to Christmas music.
They did dance.
Don't dance to Christmas music, kids.
But I think I have a Hallmark first. I don't know if Kevin noticed this as much as I did, but this may be a Hallmark first.
What was it?
When she bought the bobbly head Santa, she gave him some sort of bill. But she got change back, Kevin!
What? Exact change wasn't a thing? Oh, man.
You got more money back.
That's sweet.
That's a first. I think it was like 2 weeks ago we were talking about they never give change.
Well, most of the time they don't pay at all, but when they do pay, it is always
It's just always exact.
Or else keep the change. Keep the change. Yeah.
She got a receipt as well. I noticed she got a receipt for
You
that.
just saw her go to her her accountant so that in case she gets audited.
Yeah.
Like
I
thorough.
I think that was actually just like a real street vendor, and they're like, go buy some shit from that person. Oh, curses. Go buy some shenanigans from that person.
I think you're right.
Kevin, it's about that time, isn't it?
Well, it is almost that time, but what I do want to point out is that this movie, and you can see in what was the other movie we talked about, Kristin? Earlier?
I have no idea, Kevin. Christmas something.
Christmas, I believe it was called. There has been an awful lot of death in all of the Christmas movies this year.
Yes.
An awful lot. And Chris and I just reviewed another movie, and I can't think of the name of it, but which is 40 movies in. This one, they were like coy with it, where you knew that's what it was, but they played around with the dead dad alert on this one, Kristin, and didn't give it to us until way too late for me to care.
It says fresh dad, dead dad alert.
6 months.
Fresh, Kevin. It was
6
fresh.
months. Yeah. And you know what? When you're talking about fresh dead dads, there's nowhere to go from there but our Hallmark holiday hunk, objectification.
Yes. Thank you, Kevin. This is going to be the last Hallmark. Nope, I shouldn't say last. I'll continue objectifying men because I can. But this is going to be the last Hallmark hunk of the season that we objectify until we get later to Shannon and Aubrey's segment. So it's the second to last.
Surprise!
We get to objectify Max Cooper, played by Grayson Holt. There he is. Thank you, Doug. This guy, I'd never seen this guy before. Kev, have you seen him in other Hallmarks?
I don't know. I mean, he looked familiar, but I don't know that I know.
Okay. Anywho, we're going to objectify him by rating him 1 out of 10 mistletoes, completely based off of his face, his body, his swagger, his sex appeal. Can he wear a shirt well? These are important things to Kristin, so I always start with my co-host with the most, Kevin Regan. What do you give him?
Well, first off, here he is as a very schlubby-looking guy that we're seeing on the screen. This is what Hallmark has been doing. They really take some of these dudes who, like, otherwise are pretty good-looking guys. Don, I think there's another photo, which maybe he's putting up too, where you can see that, what's his name? Kirsten Holt? That's not his name. That's
Kirsten.
Grayson. I was not that far off. Grayson Holt's a good-looking dude. That's the same picture, but regardless, it doesn't make a difference. Anyhow, he was fine. There he is. He was fine. He listened. He was an emotional dude, which I appreciated him. He had that relationship with his dad that was a little, it wasn't great when his dad died. He talks to his mom late in the movie, and you find out like his father was very closed off, and Max never truly knew how his father felt. His mother tells him, and I can't personally relate to that, but at the same time, I understand that's like a true...
My cat is chewing on a live wire. Please excuse me.
Right, so before your cat dies, I'm just going to give this guy a 6. He gets a 6.
6 out of 10. Okay.
That's a nice.
Keeps cats from dying, Doug. That's what I say.
Who should go next?
Doug, you.
Okay. Well, so let's talk about Grayson Hall. Okay, so you may have seen him before in The 100 because he was also on that because it also films in Vancouver, and he's a Canuck. So, I will say this. At the top of the movie, I didn't think he was playing to his strengths. Like, this business casual attire, also at the end of the film, didn't do a lot for him. However, halfway through the movie, when they end up in that small town, after the atrocious oversized llama sweater he gets from the dad, who is a single father just trying to get by. While Rachel Lee Cook is out shopping for her window dress, she also picks up some clothes for him, and she pulls that beautiful, like, tight blue, like, wool merino sweater, which really, like, made his pecs pop, which I thought was a great choice, because here we are singing We Three Kings, falling in love in my beautiful wool merino sweater. I also thought, like, as far as, like, personality goes, I know that we don't care about that, but he seemed to be true to form for Midwestern men. Closed off, weird relationship with their dad, and doesn't know how to dress themselves. For that reason, I am going to give Grayson Holt 9 mistletoes out of 10.
Wow!
Solid rating right there.
Someone's bells were jingling, huh, Doug?
You can make my mistletoes curl any day, girl. Okay.
Ooh, I love it. That's a hot rating. Courtney, I'm going to turn it to you.
Oh my goodness. So I am, I know we're not supposed to talk about personality, but presentation and charm and charisma, I found him to be extremely charming. Simply, he just was very earnest, and there was no like smooth talking in there, and I was like, I don't want to watch that. So I was such a sucker for that. So I would say that aside, if we're just going by true looks alone, there was a very specific moment when he was laying down in the huge dog decoration truck, and he was laying on his side. And I was like, I feel like a lot of either the clothes they picked for him or the camera angles, he had more of a, I don't know what the term is. It's like Silicon Valley dad bod type deal with like the Patagonia vest and like a little bit of extra fluff here. He was more filled out than I'm used to seeing, like the chiseled, like almost too porcelain guys. And I was like, I really like that. So he reminded me, I can't believe what it is. He reminded me of like that Buster Posey ass where he was just like, I'm a catcher. He was like bottom heavy. He was very like, he was like leg meat, because you never see dudes with like leg meat. And I was like, this guy's got some he's got some meat on him. I'm like, all right, not just like pitcher arms. I'm in baseball, people. So I would give him that plus all the earnest. I give him a 9.5 mistletoes.
Wow.
Very nice.
These are really high ratings.
I think it's because they filmed him at unflattering angles, and I was like, way to be you, man.
Yeah.
You want to know why they had to do that? Rachel Lee Cook, 5'2". Grayson Holt, 6'2".
11.8.
Yeah, like they should have just put her on a little board or something. I mean, they had her in those chunkin' heels, but still.
Pull out the Tom Cruise apple boxes, please. We got to get her at the same height as her co-star.
Hello. They did it with Seth Green and Buffy. They could do it now in the damn 2020s. Oh, cursing. All right. So.
Nary a crisp white shirt to be seen.
He was never in a good shirt except for the one Doug spoke about. I didn't like his hair. I thought it was dumb.
Yeah.
I thought it was dumb. I don't know. I don't like Kevin knows my take it or leave it. I gave him.
We gotta take it or leave it.
I gave him a 5.
5. Wow.
I'm so sorry. I'm very picky about.
That's cool.
Also, I think I would have given him a 6.5 if they put him in that good of clothes the entire time, and they gave him a beard.
Keep in mind too, we've rated over 40 dudes because sometimes we rate other people that are in the movie. So like, that's fair. It's 5 is probably pretty good.
I think so.
Kristin, I hate to say it. Here comes Grayson Hall.
Well, that's how I felt. Like at one point, I think I gave Andrew Walker like a 3.
Yeah.
And now I follow him on Instagram, and I'm like, he can never know.
I know. I think you could go back too, though, and re-watch some of those early ones and go, because I think you recalibrated your scale at some point.
I certainly did. I feel bad for the ones that we started with.
Speaking of the ones we started with, how about the ones we end with? Because that's my best segue so far.
It was really good.
It's terrible. But this was not the only movie that we watched this weekend. There was another Hallmark movie, and we brought in some sleuths to solve the mystery of that movie in our Winter Wonder. Why did I say Winter? Wonder Whodunit. That's.
And welcome to Winter Wonder Whodunit. I'm Aubrie, and this is my co-sleuth, Shannon. Shannon, we're on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I needed to sanitize, and it wasn't coming out, and now it's everywhere.
Did you say sanitize?
I did.
Oh my goodness, you're in the holiday spirit, Shan.
I always am.
Cheers. Your tinsel is not in a tangle.
That is untrue, but that's for therapy later. All right. So tonight we're solving the mystery of Swept Up by Christmas. It had it all. Brooms.
Dustpans. Gwen, an appraiser who was ditched at the altar, hopes to score the Hawthorne house auction as it be a big win. Her only competition? The Davro Group.
Mr. Hawthorne, a grumpy old man, but still, Gwen manages to snag the deal because she's willing to decorate the entire estate alone. Well, almost alone. Mr. Hawthorne hires Dirt Force One.
Yep, that's real.
That was its name.
Name.
Yep. Owned by a military vet named Reed. Gotta bring in the troops.
Oh yeah, bringing in the troops always in these mystery movies. Reed worked with Gwen before and was a major disappointment. Lucky for her, Reed says individuals can play the game, but teams beat the odds. And then he helps her pick out trees and decorate. She only has 2 weeks to bid to take over the company.
What? Alan hasn't seen his... Oh, Mr. Hawthorne.
Mr.
Is
Hawthorne,
rolling
yeah.
down. Hasn't seen his daughter, Isla. That person. In 2 years after his wife died, and Gwen pulls the Christmas tree topper at the last minute at the big auction because it was owned by his wife. But it was worth a lot of money. Doesn't matter. Reed is moving for his cleaning company. And Gwen is not happy about it, obviously, because it's 18 minutes before the end of the film.
Yeah. In the end, in the last 18 minutes, Reed's friend moves. Reed stays. Isla comes back. Isla? Yeah.
Isis.
Maybe not. Isla comes back and they all end in the Hawthorne house and Reed and Gwen kiss by a tree.
Yay! We solved the mystery! Hooray! There was not a mystery in this one.
There really wasn't a mystery.
All right. Well, now, because this one didn't have a mystery, we need to figure out what it was because it was on the Movies and Mysteries channel. You don't put a movie on there if there's no mystery because that's false advertising. So, Aubrie, what is the mystery?
I think the true mystery was who was haunting that haunted violin that auctioned for $6,000. No, they kept mentioning the haunted violin. It should have been the whole movie. What spirit was trapped in there?
That is a real mystery that should have been the entire movie. But it wasn't.
Hitler? What if it was Hitler trapped in there?
Unbelievable.
What do you think the mystery is, Shan?
I think the mystery is, do they know that Air Force One is not a military plane? It's like, I mean, I guess technically it is because I guess technically the president is the leader of the military. But that was still a weird choice because they're not like presidents. Like, they should have called it like Boots on the Broom or something. I don't know. Like, it should have been like something like that. But it was like,
honestly,
Dirt Force One, and it annoyed me.
Yeah, it was a really bad move on their part.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have a name for what they could call it.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I would call it Army with a Broom.
See? Better. What do you guys call it?
Military men scaping.
That's a very different film, Kristen.
All right.
That would not be on Hallmark. That would be on Cinemax. That is a
Watch
Cinemax
it though.
film.
I mean,
I watch it, honestly.
I mean, I watch it. I'm just saying it's not on the Hallmark channel.
That's fine.
We could also call it, I don't know, something better.
Operation Duster Storm.
Thank you.
Oh,
Done.
wins.
Done. Why are we not writing for this?
Hallmark,
Stands out.
hire
Stands
everyone
out.
here. Come on.
yeah. What about Dust Guard? I got greedy.
No, it's okay.
I'm not
If
proud
there's
of that.
not really a
I'll
place
cut
to
that
go-
one out. I'll cut that one out when we edit this. It's
Yeah,
fine.
edit it out.
Oh.
Man, oh man. You guys had a hot guy in yours, right?
Not the main guy.
We did have one hot guy in it.
We
but
did.
One we would technically objectify.
Well, let's do our holiday hunk objectification with whatever photo Don has.
Ooh, I'm excited to find out.
Can't wait. That means we have to.
I don't think you guys will be happy with it because I did give him the main guy, which is Justin Brooming.
Brooming.
Brooming?
Again, a better name.
Oh, if his name was Dustin, that would have been.
Dustin
Dustin
Brooming.
Brooming? It could have been. They wrote it. They named him.
Yeah, what if it was Dustin Brooming at your service? 'Cause that's very
Oh my God.
That would be.
We have a photo of him with a sweet cable knit sweater because I know Chris likes her Chris Evans cable knit sweaters. Honestly, I cannot tell the difference between this guy and Captain America right now.
What?
How dare you, sir? Take that back. Edit that out.
No, I meant Captain America from the show back in like 1983.
Oh,
okay.
With the helmet. Yeah.
You do not. Oh, come on. That sweater has a button on it. Chris Evans doesn't need a goddamn button on his.
He does not. He has holes in his, and yet it is still perfect.
Yeah.
Please be aware that you're speaking about a soap opera digest winner. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that's all stuff to take into consideration.
All right, let's do a speed round of numbers for this guy. Drop me your numbers. 1 out of 10 mistletoe. Shannon, what do you give him?
5.
Aubrie.
Going 4. I'm going low.
Nice.
I didn't love
Courtney, how about you?
5.
Ooh, okay. Doug?
Most of these photos get him like a 3. There's like 1 or 2 that bumps him up to a 5. Outside of that, it's like he calls himself a former model. I call him a JCPenney catalog model.
I mean, I guess technically that's a model, so in fairness to him.
Kev, what do you give him? I went to you last awkwardly.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna Bob Barker you guys and bid $1. So I think y'all went over personally.
Correct.
Yeah, I'd only give this chump a 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come up to a 3 because you called him a chump, and he's our guest next week, so I don't want to.
We have a show next week.
Oh, you didn't get our schedule?
I thought we were done.
Listen, guys, can we just point out, though, that we did not bring this guy up, but there was an actual Paralympian in this movie who I swear he must work out probably like a million times a day, and he was not the lead, and I find that to be offensive on many levels, but he was more attractive.
His name was Joshua Cassidy.
Yeah.
I will say, and this is no comment on anything other, he wasn't the greatest actor. That was
No,
my
because
point.
he's a Paralympian.
I know.
And-
He looked great. He looked great. His character was awesome, but he wasn't the best actor. But it is, it is Hallmark.
It's a Hallmark movie. Do we care?
Yeah, he
This
was
man has like 3,000 medals.
Yes.
How dare you?
Doug, can you bring that to the screen?
Hold on, Doug. Are any of those medals?
Look at this
for
guy.
acting? Are any of them
This
for
guy.
acting? Yeah.
He doesn't need a medal for acting. He's got all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're objectifying him, I'm giving him an 8. I mean,
Yeah.
Thank you.
he's getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying.
I
For
also
the medals alone.
loved the moment. I mean, I didn't really love this movie, but I did love the one moment where she brought over the hot chocolate for him to try and named it something based off of mistletoe, so she could be so pimp. So then she could hold the mistletoe so she could kiss him, and I was like, yes.
Wait, the friend? Like the
Yeah, the friend.
lady?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those two, I swear, that should have been the movie. Like,
Why weren't we
those two
watching
were
them the
so
entire
much
time?
More interesting.
They were very charming and they had good chemistry. Like, while he wasn't a great actor, he was a good actor for Hallmark movies. Like,
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen worse that make acting your
Hey,
date.
you know what? Maybe we start a letter writing campaign and we try and get them to be a focus of a film next year. So send those letters to Remark.
Swept up by Christmas, too.
And we'll forward them for you. So
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. We got nothing to do starting next week, so I think we got it.
I know, right?
Letter writing campaign it is.
So listen, I know that Courtney and Doug don't typically watch Hallmark films. So I wanted to play a little game I call The Same But Different. Cue the theme music. We have no theme music.
Don just started pulling levers.
3 kings from.
So good. So what I'm going to do is Kristin is quite aware of these. Shannon and Aubrie are pretty aware of these. And I think a lot of people who followed us through this journey are also aware. I'm going to describe very quickly the plots of 2 of the movies that have happened this year. And I'm going to throw a fake one in. and Courtney and Doug will go back and forth. You have to tell me which one is the fake one.
Okay.
It'll be easy. All right, Courtney, I'm going to go with you first.
Okay.
Here they are. An accomplished pianist who has lost her love for music, or an accomplished violinist who has lost her love for music, or an accomplished harpist, is that a word? Harp player who has lost her love for music. Which one of those did I make up?
The pianist one.
No, that was Christmas Chateau Christmas. The
Chateau
second
Christmas.
this year. Yes, the harp. The harp was not a movie in 2020. I should specify
2021
that
though.
they have to be 2020 movies. Yeah. Doug, are you ready?
Look at his arms.
Thank you. This is what I am saying.
He's still.
He has a gold medal. He won the gold medal in the Paralympic mile. I mean, come on, Kevin.
Doug.
Yes.
Doug, I believe in you. Play this game with me and I will get you a medal. Are you ready? This is your question. Which one of these plots did I make up for the 2020 slate of movies? Is it the time-traveling clock? Is it the time-traveling gazebo? Or is it the time-traveling carousel?
Ooh. Even though I know it's a prominent fixture in every Hallmark movie, I am going to have to go with the time-traveling gazebo.
That's correct! I made that one up!
Wow.
Wait, only one of those was made up?
Yeah. Time-traveling clock was Timeless Christmas.
Clock.
Yeah.
And a time traveling carousel was Christmas comes twice.
yeah.
That's what she said.
Is that what they said in that James Bond movie? Oh, that was
Yes.
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 Doug, that means you have 1 point. Courtney, you have no points, which means Courtney is winning. That's how this is played. All right, Courtney, this one. Which plot? This is a little bit longer, but I can do this. Ready? Which plot did I make up? A woman whose family candy store is going to be torn down until a man comes along and redesigns his father's original plans, allowing the store to stand surrounded by new condos and office spaces. A woman whose family record store is going to be torn down until a man comes along and redesigns his father's original plans, allowing the store to stay surrounded by new condos and office spaces. Or a woman whose family diner is going to be torn down until her man comes along and redesigns her father's original plan, allowing the diner to stay surrounded by new condos and office spaces.
What's sad is that the first one about the candy store, I was like,
Yeah,
that's
candy
not
store,
cool.
record store, diner.
I'm going to say record store is the fake one.
Record store is real. That was Candy Cane Lane. The candy store was in fact fake. No point. No point.
Literally,
It's
Kevin,
on-
when you were reading that, I was like, did I miss a movie about candy?
No, that was the fake one. How about this one?
Wait, they
Shannon
read
and Aubrie will know these because they reviewed these.
I promise you we don't.
Novel.
This is for you, Doug.
Okay.
Which one of these did I make up? A woman finds a necklace and is determined to find the original owner while falling in love in the process. A woman finds a ring and is determined to find the original owner while falling in love in the process. Or a woman finds a bracelet and is determined to find the original owner while falling in love in the process. Necklace, ring, or bracelet?
One of those is made up. I'm going to say that I'm going to go with bracelet because it's to me that like ring, necklace, bracelet would be the ranking of jewelry, so I'm going to go bracelet.
Ooh, it was necklace. There is a bracelet, and it's an excellent
Charm
movie.
bracelet.
An old ass ugly charm bracelet.
A wonderful movie. Show it to the whole family.
By Pandora. Come on.
All right, we're coming towards the end here. All right, Courtney. A woman who is obsessed with a bell falls in love with a firefighter.
Oh.
A woman who is obsessed with a Christmas ornament falls in love with a firefighter. Or a woman who is obsessed with a tree falls in love with a firefighter.
I hope it's the tree. I want the tree one to be fake.
The tree one is real. I can't believe it. That is a Christmas tree grows in Brooklyn, Colorado.
Stop it. Stop it.
No points for Courtney, so she obviously is in the lead. Doug, you have to do work. All right, here we go. A widowed father sells his business and promises to be more Christmassy with his son. A divorced father sells his business and promises to be more Christmassy with his sons. Or an overworked father sells his business and promises to be more Christmassy with his daughter. Which one did I make up?
So, I'm gonna say the divorced one, the divorced dad.
That was Godwink. He was a divorced dad, but he still got along with his wife. It was the overworked father who sold his business, because the men in these movies apparently never get overworked and they never trade their dreams in. That's up for the lady to do. So, unfortunately, Doug, you got you got 1 point. I do have one last one that's for everybody.
Oh, fun.
I really like this one.
Okay. Even for me?
Yeah, you know the answer to this, but it's still worth it because it's a fun one. Which one of these did I make up? Lacey Chabert falls for a guy who runs his own dance studio, Lacey Chabert falls for a guy who runs his own law firm, or Lacey Chabert falls for a guy who runs his own inn.
Law firm.
One of those is made up.
Law firm.
Gotta be law firm.
Law firm.
It is offer!
Yes!
I saw when you guys did the dance one, and then we watched the Time
The
to
End.
Come Home for Christmas.
Yep.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, next on January 2nd, I don't know if you saw the commercials for a shot at love.
The Cutting Edge 3.
Players got to go to a dance studio. Oh.
Doug, Chris and I, we did say we're ending the show, but we're considering watching that one and talking about it in some capacity, probably on the phone, so we'll call you in. Don't worry.
Can I just say that I feel bad for those commercials because they're so desperate to have you watch past Christmas. It's like watching me talk to men. Like, it's truly like, it's the desperation in those commercials. Like, please watch us after Christmas.
Every Thursday from
I'm
here to eternity.
Yeah, actually, so the women on the Hallmark Hub that I follow on Facebook,
Problems.
tune in if I continue to follow these bigoted women. But the interesting thing is, they're like, we should, all of us, because there are 10,000 of us in this group. If we all write into Hallmark and ask them just to always play the Christmas movies, they might do it. And I was like, this is what you jerks did when you wanted the same-sex couple commercial off. Please don't gather together. Please don't doing this.
Yeah.
Stop it.
There's no
Lord.
So, Chris does know this. Does anyone want to take a shot at how many of the Hallmark movies this year had the word Christmas in the title? There were 40 movies. Anyone want to take a guess?
39.
40.
25.
52.
That one.
Doug's right.
Some of them had Christmas twice, and that's
Oh, yeah. Oh, man,
One mentions Christmas Comes Twice, but they only said it once. No, it
What about the movie Christmas, Christmas, Christmas that you watched, Kevin?
Oh, that was Lifetime. It was 34 of the 40 movies. Keeping in mind that one of the movies was a Hanukkah movie. It didn't have Christmas in it, so that means 5 movies that were not with Christmas in the title. It's just. And Jingle Bell Bride was the first movie they aired, so it felt like they were
on their way,
Yeah.
but then not.
Tricking you into thinking they were getting creative with their titles.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, oh, wow. Okay. Jingle Bell because it's Jingle Bells, and Jingle Bell because it's the flower, and there's a bride. Cool. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas.
I'm surprised they didn't somehow shoehorn Christmas into the Hanukkah movie title. Like, Hanukkah at Christmas. Like
We
something.
get into the plot line. Don't worry, Doug. It was all in the plot line.
It was all in the
About
plot
Christmas.
line. Lord. Kevin, we've done it.
We did it. This is it. So we want to thank everybody for watching, and we want to thank all of our guests. We want to also thank Aubrie and Shannon, who have been just here with us the entire time. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Courtney Pong, what can we mention for you? What can we promote for you?
Oh, so I'm the owner and the manager of the CSE Boston, which is the ComedySportz location in Boston. And what you can promote for me is if you're ever in Boston, come say hello.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Doug, how about yourself?
I am involved as the artistic director of the CSZ here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. And we do run virtual matches every Saturday night at 7:30 Central Time. So if you're on the East Coast, it's an hour later than you think.
That's actually better, Doug, because I don't want people not to watch Philadelphia's matches every Saturday.
It's not your turn to plug yet, Kristin. How dare you?
Time Zone Hop. They're fans of Time Zone Hop, right?
Yeah.
We, we are having a special New Year's Eve show, all that great stuff. I also am a part of a company that hosts online game shows for large groups of people. So if you have a friend group or a family group or even a company that was looking to, have a virtual game show, look up the game show battle rooms. We're out there.
Awesome.
Amazing.
That's great, Doug. That's
That's
awesome.
for Doug as your host because he's the best.
Yes.
Obviously.
Shannon and Aubrie, you don't need to go together, but I know oftentimes you do. So,
Shannon, do you have any?
Aubrie, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, we are King Friday Productions together, and I guess apart right now. But we did Quiplash to Save Georgia a few weeks ago, and we're gonna put the video up soon to try and raise more money for OSAM.
Oh, I think it's up.
Oh, is it
I
up?
forgot to tell you.
Good. I'm gonna do my job and post it right after the show. So
I think this is their production meeting. I think.
Yeah, you're
Sorry we
doing two
talked
birds
so
with
much
one
over-
stone. It's great. It's very helpful. Thank you I appreciate you hosting this for us.
Aubrie, once you share it, we'll reshare it. So if anyone needs, you can jump from our page to your page, and yeah, absolutely, it's awesome. Anything else, Shannon? I don't want to cut you off if you had something separate. If you're breaking away from Aubrie, and now's when you want to tell her.
Oh yeah. Well, that was for later in the production meeting, but yeah. We're not together anymore. No, I don't have anything. Wear a mask and get the vaccine when you can.
I'll just start a production company with this.
I just got mine today.
Got mine today.
Awesome. Kristin Finger, what would you like to plug?
I would like to plug everything at ComedySportz Philly because we are doing some really, really fun stuff. This whole past month of December has been just a magical journey. Trash Puppets closed last night, but they might be back. We're also doing a New Year's Eve show. We've got Play It Out happening in January, which is where we have 6 amazing stand-ups come and do like 5-minute sets, and then some improvisers do the make-em-ups based off their stand-up, all virtual. And we've just started offering kids classes and teen classes, improv classes online for through our education program. So please check that information out. Also, I have to plug because I also work for another theater. The Wilma Theater in Philadelphia is doing amazing work. We just exceeded such beautiful expectations of folks tuning into our live capture of a play called Heroes of the Fourth Turning. So just tune in, see what else the Wilma Theater's doing during this pandemic. The next play is by James Imes. It's called Fat Ham, and it's beeping brilliant.
Awesome.
I went to school with James Imes. He's the best.
He's a
that's
unicorn.
awesome. Great, yeah.
Yeah.
The match game's next Friday as well, right? The 27th?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, check out the match game. ComedySportz does a match game. It's fantastic. I absolutely adore that show. I watch it whether I'm involved with it or not because it's always so much fun. Oftentimes I'm involved with it, and then you should definitely watch it. If I'm not, you still should. But you can comment and say, why isn't Kevin involved? And then,
right.
But I love the match game. It is Friday, December 27th at 8 p.m. You can get tickets at csetix.com. I also do another podcast, which we took off while we were doing this because I would die. And my dear friend Steve Roney said, take a break, buddy. So the Punch Up podcast, where we have comedians come in and tell stories. And then myself and Steve Roney and Jesse Preisendorfer and Ian O'Shea basically try and annoy the storyteller enough to almost not tell their story, but they always power through. So, and everybody on this panel, be aware because emails will be coming your way. I'd love to have you all on. Except you, Kristin. You've been on enough. No one's to hear you.
I don't have any more stories.
Yeah, you're all out.
Josh Cassidy would like to plug the Tokyo 2021 Olympics. Josh
That's a
Cassidy.
Chris White shirt right there.
That's a crisp. He gets a 10.
Shirt.
He gets a 10. Look at that shirt.
The campaign begins tomorrow.
Nice. And also thank you to Don Montrey, who's been in the background doing this so that it looks so beautiful. I really, really appreciate it, buddy.
It looks so
You
pretty.
should have popped in. Can you pop in now? Just say hi and goodbye.
I've been popping in through the entire show.
You son of a bitch. How dare you? Good.
That's hilarious. I can't wait to go back and watch this.
Everyone's commenting of, Don, they're just ignoring you. I just say, because I know they can't hear me because I don't have my mic turned on. So
Yeah, we don't actually see the feed, so it's a little different for us.
I would like to plug one thing.
Yes.
Rachel Lee Cook was also Josie in the Josie and the Pussycats movie.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
good movie.
It's a very good
With
movie.
Tara Reid. Oh, that movie's so good.
Oh, good.
All right.
Parker Posey.
Yeah.
Alan Cumming. Oh my God.
And Don Going.
Fire. I love
Good
it.
plug. Good plug, Don.
Good work, Don. You should have been on here the whole time. You popped in and stayed on.
Jumped in.
That's it. We will have one more episode coming out on maybe Thursday, Wednesday, if it's done in time, and that will be the end of Remark as you know it for right now. So stay tuned. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and hey, who knows? We might be back sometime in the near future. Until then, wear your hat, wear your mask,
Congratulations.
get your vaccines.
Hats on.
Thanks,
Good night.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.